Hi, my name is Margit and I'm one of the senior vets from London Vet Surgeries. Today I wanted to talk to you about rabbits. Now, we all know how cute rabbits are and they're often bought as pets for children. However, they do need looking after properly. This starts from their living requirements. They shouldn't be just left in some tiny little hutch at the bottom of the garden and neglected. If they are kept outdoors, then that's fine as long as their hutch is big enough, and it needs to be at least big enough for the rabbit to stand up fully, to lay down and stretch out, to run around in and play. Ideally, they should also have access to an outdoor run. Both the run and the hutch needs to be fox-proof. If they're kept indoors, and that's great, because actually most rabbits are very easily litter trained. And they really like it. So the main thing though is that first, if they're left to run around on their own, ideally they should be supervised. And definitely any electrical cables needs to be put away in such a fashion that a rabbit cannot nibble through them. And rabbits do like to nibble. Then the next thing would be the food. So ideally their mainstay of diet should be a good quality hay. So the hay should have a lovely aromatic smell and it should not smell stale or dusty. There you go. They should also have access to a good quality pellet food where all the pellets ideally should look the same, because rabbits are selective feeders. And that means that if you give them a muesli style food, they will actually pick out the bits that they like and leave the rest, and therefore then the diet is actually not balanced anymore. You can also give them some vegetables, but everything in moderation, even carrots, because they can actually be quite full of sugars. And definitely no really sweet fruits like bananas or grapes. Please also be aware that rabbits can get fleas or fur mites. But these parasites are very easily treated as long as you use the right products, and if you ring us or your local vet, then we can advise you on what is the best product in your circumstances. Rabbits should also be wormed regularly, especially if they have access to the outdoors. There is also some really quite nasty diseases that rabbits can catch, and thankfully some of which we can vaccinate against. And the ones that we definitely recommend vaccination is myxomatosis and rabbit hemorrhagic disease. These two diseases do not need direct contact between rabbits to be transferred, and therefore even indoor rabbits can be at risk. It's also very important to turn over your rabbit every day to have a look at the underside. Let's have a look, darling. Oh, very gentle. Yeah, very good. You're so good. And you have a look at the bottom, just to make sure that your rabbit does not have a dirty bottom. Because if your rabbit does have a dirty bottom, then this can attract flies and they can lay their eggs in it, which then can cause something called fly strike. This can actually get serious very, very quickly, and therefore it's really good practice to get your rabbit used to being turned over every single day and have a look at the nether region. It's also really important to check the teeth. So the incisors sometimes get too long, they overgrow, and then the vet has to shorten them. The other thing that is harder for you to check at home is if the molars are overgrown. What you can see though quite often is that the rabbit is dribbling or drooling or has a wet chin. Those are all signs that it could be that the molars are overgrown, and then your rabbit should definitely be taken to the vet. As a rule as well, rabbits really should be eating and passing feces several times a day, every day. So if your rabbit hasn't eaten for several hours, or doesn't move very much, or you haven't seen any fresh droppings, that could really be a sign that your rabbit is unwell. And they can get quite bad quite quickly. So it's really good to give us or your local vet a ring and let us know that you're concerned about your rabbit. We will really always try to fit you in as soon as possible if you're at all concerned about the well-being of your rabbit. So if you have any other questions about how to look after your pet bunny, then ring or ring your local vet. Oh, you have been so good, you're a star.